screen. What do we have here? Real Fyreslayers unit tier list. Tier list maker. Alright. Not too terribly many units down here, I'm noticing. You got about as many units as Beastclaw, kinda. Like half of Ogres. No wonder people, including me, have been saying that. Kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop on this Fyreslayers business. I wonder if I can get some background music. Is this appropriate for Fyreslayers, kinda? Maybe, maybe not. Let's learn. Let's learn together. Orc Runefather on Magamadroth. Kind of the de facto leader unit. The fire elemental thing might look decent in another paint scheme, you think? Probably. I'm sure you could paint it up real nice looking. This dude's got 16 wounds on a 4-up save. Move 12, no flying. That hurts a little bit. How much does this cost? Do we have cost here? 360, okay. Fire Steel Throwing Axe, 1 attack, 4s and 4s, -1/1. Why even write this? With an 8-inch range. I remember the Fire Steel Throwing Axes. Roaring Fire Stream. 9-inch see below to hit something, 3/1/1. What does it do? Attack's characteristic of a roaring fire stream is equal to the number of models in the target unit, so it sucks. Do a maximum of 10, but 10 is where it gets... 10's where it begins to get good. That's the point at which it is good, and that's the maximum? What are these? Why did they do this? In addition, at the end of your shooting phase, if this unit did not make an attack with its roaring fire stream in that phase, you can say that an inferno is raging inside this unit. An inferno is raging inside this unit. Improve the rend characteristic of its roaring fire stream by 2. After the next attack made with this unit's roaring fire stream has been resolved, an inferno is no longer raging inside this unit. The emotions it feels. Okay, so... Alright. Hey, I was gonna shit on this thing, but that's actually kind of interesting. Because right away, you're not gonna use this. Yeah, his heart is blazing. You're not gonna use this right away, because it has the shortest range ever. So the first time you use it, it's gonna have Rend 2. That's kind of cool. You know? And if you're ever fighting a unit that has fewer than, like, 10 guys in it, it's not going to do anything anyway. Like, if you would target one guy with this thing, it's not worth it. So just don't shoot and then let it be blazing for next time, you know? It's kind of neat. Oh, Balam Garden? The absolute feels. This shit, though. Why do these have to be that bad? Lashing Tail at the end of the combat phase, roll die for each enemy unit within 3. Equal to or less than the number of models in the unit. Suffers D3 mortal wounds. Okay, that sucks. It's okay, I guess, against a huge unit that you failed to kill a ton of the guys in. You know? So, like, at best, I don't... This thing is like Gulping Bite, kinda. It's just not great. And it sucks against single models, which is bad. Volcanic Blood. Roll a die each time a wound caused by an attack made with a melee weapon is allocated on a 4-up, suffers 1 mortal wound. That's good. means that this thing has 8 mortal wounds held inside of its body. And if you have to kill it in melee combat, you're going to take like 8 mortal wounds and just die. Volcanic Blood is kind of good. It does mean that your guy has to die to get that value, but it's nice that your unit can punish someone for winning, you know? That's nice. Oh yeah, I was gonna look at the melee weapons as well. It's your favorite kind of ability. It's the like, yeah, well, fuck you kind of ability, right? Latchkey Grand Axe. 4 attacks, 3s and 3s, 1, 3. Hey, this is that's the Frost Spear. That's the Frost Spear, you know? Exact number of attacks, same to hit and wound, same rend, same damage. It's a Frost Spear. That is to say, it's 3 damage at the end of the day after all 4 attacks have been done. Blazing Mar. 3 attacks, 4s and 2s, -2 D3. Don't like that too much. Very low number of attacks. 4s to hit kind of sucks. 2s to wound is good. Rend 2. D3 is a little awkward. And then Claws and Horns, which start at 6, but degrade. And there are 3s and 3s, 1, 2. Okay. What is he? 360? I suppose. This is like not the best damage output necessarily. Volcanic Blood is sweet though. Also, allocated comes before wards, and I think you can get a 5-up on this guy somehow. Let's read the fine print.
Twitch Prawn.
Roll dice each time a wound caused by an attack made with a melee weapon is allocated to this unit. Does say allocated though, right? How do they interpret this in the many different ways they could be interpreting this? You know what I mean? Does this include mortal wounds? It does just say wound, and some stuff says wound or mortal wound. You do allocate wounds. So can you be allocated and then negate it and still do the dam? I wonder. If it worked like that, that would be a flavor fail, but it would be a cool, it would be good mechanically. Just God, thanks for the Prime. For 34 months. Glad there's a stream while you grind out some more zombies. For a local one-day event next month. First one ever at your local shop. Oh. Age of Sigmar being played in real life. You love to see it. Ahem. Is HeyWoah starting a Fyreslayers army? No, I'm doing a tier list. And if we're going to do a tier list of all the Fyreslayer units, with how unfamiliar with them I am, I felt like it was only right to give them a look over, which involves looking at their war scrolls and stuff. Reading war scrolls is your kind of idea of a good time. I don't know if that's sarcasm or not, but sometimes you just gotta listen to Balam Garden from FF8 and read some war scrolls on a Friday night. You know, let loose a little bit. Unbutton the top button of your, well, I guess this is a t-shirt, but, you know, let your hair down a little bit. And then Lord of the Law did you. Once per battle, at the start of your combat phase, you pick one friendly unit on the battlefield to unleash the Wrath of Grimnir. Word, okay. Your combat phase only. One friendly unit on the battlefield with this ability. If you do so until the end of the next of that phase had one of the attacks characteristics. Ahem. Melee weapons used by friendly Fyreslayers that are wholly within 12 of that unit. Okay, we're entering combat. I can hear the music in the background. Fighting those fish on the beach, ready to draw, ready to cast draw 70 times in a row. I can hear it. I can hear it in my brain. Within 12 is a little awkward. It's also a little awkward that Lord of the Lodge being once per battle and also only once per unit who has Lord of the Lodge. It means that you are heavily disincentivized to run more than one Auric Runefather on Magmadrop. Because you're just not getting this ability on any more than one of them per game, which is a little sad. Switch hats? Sure. You're really not bringing one Runefather, are you? I mean, as I'm looking over this thing, probably not, but I don't know how Fyreslayers players are building their armies nowadays. I don't know what they do. You guys play this? How do I feel about it? 360 points. Not the best attack profile. It's not necessarily slow. To me, 12 is the bare minimum for any monster ever. And if it doesn't have flying, that's actually kind of a big notch against it. Its durability is okay. 16 on a 4-up isn't actually great with no ward. I know that there's ways for you to get wards within the army, and so you kind of figure that they do, you know? Roaring Firestream is not the best. It's kind of interesting. Lashing Tail sucks. Volcanic Blood is cool. And Lord of the Lodge is good. But it is pretty limiting. What are we reviewing? Fyreslayers units in the tier list format. I gotta see the whole picture. You know? How good something is goes beyond its war scroll. That's just the starting point. I want to see the mount traits. Are there any good mount traits in here? One Fyreslayer Magmadroth hero in your army to have one of these. Okay. If you carry out Stomp... Hold on. Let's tap this music down a touch. If you carry out the Stomp Monstrous Rampage, which you don't want to because Roar is better with this unit, and the enemy unit you picked suffers any mortal wounds, the enemy unit suffers 3 additional... Okay. So 3 plus D3 mortal wounds if you stomp something. Now you cannot stomp an opposing monster, which is a downside here. But this guy is kind of built from the ground up to absolutely not want to fight monsters. And maybe with Volcanic Blood so that they both die, I guess. But all his abilities seem to want to fight against, like, units of 10, you know? So maybe they're just leaning into that. 3 plus a D3 is actually really good on a Stomp. And keep in mind, Stomp isn't a 3-up like Roar, it is a 2-up. So maybe you just lean into the niche that this guy is performing and just slam non-monsters with Stomp. It's actually kind of neat. Also, you can carry out Monstrous Rampages on both your turn and opponent's turn, so you keep up with your action economy. Lava Tongue Adult. I'm listening. When determining the attacks characteristic of this unit's Roaring Firestream, an attacks characteristic of less than 5 is treated as being 5. No. No. Coalheart Ancient. If this unit is the target of an attack made with a melee weapon. Subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of that weapon for that attack. Okay, normally I like... Well, okay, normally I don't like this because it wrecks me. Because my whole army is like multiple damage characteristic of the army, so this shit wrecks me. It's like a potentially really good silver bullet for keeping your dude alive. Here's your defensive one, here's your offensive one, right? These aren't bad. The middle one is. Is there a maximum number of heroes in a 2,000 point list? Technically, a lot of people use the term hero, but what they mean is leader. Because a force organizational chart thing is different than a keyword thing, but it's 6. If what you mean is leader, the maximum is 6 in a 2,000 point game. But since we're talking about Fyreslayers, some armies like Fyreslayers have a little bit of a funny business with that. There are heroes that don't have the leader like characteristic. And so if you're running some of those, you can have as many as you want. Because they're not leaders, they're only heroes. Most leaders are heroes and vice versa everywhere else. But Grimwrath Berserkers and Doomseekers specifically aren't. They're only heroes, they're not leaders. So you could play 15 of them. And Andrew Yells did. At a 3,000 point tournament, he played 14 heroes. 6 of those heroes were leaders, but the other ones weren't. It was actually kind of cool. Not sure how many other non-leader heroes there are in the game. Khorne has some, I think. I think Khorne has some. Karanak, that's the one I was thinking of. Chadru Chels, yeah. Godric is a non-leader hero. Okay, true. There's another one. They're sprinkled throughout here and there. And then Lofnir adds 2 wounds characteristic, just like Boulderhead does, which would make this guy 18 on a 4-up. Big wounds. Alright. Of these 3 on the bottom, this one is clearly a Rune Smiter on Magmadroth. Oh no, I see the Latchkey Grand Axe over here. So this is the... As far as capstone leader hero monsters within armies across the whole game, what do I rate this guy? His fighting is like okay, I guess. His ranged is not great. He doesn't come with a ward, but you can give him one. 18 on a 4-up is alright. Volcanic Blood is very good. Lord of the Lodge is nice. These 2, Doesn't fly. We see the high quality picture of the mini, sure. Hold on, let me go to the Games Workshop website and click on Shop, and then Age of Sigmar, and then Order, and then Fyreslayers. What an obnoxious website. Org Runefather on Magomadroth with his Latchkey Grand Axe. So there he is. Their lore is really cool. Model looks okay. I'm thinking somewhere in the C+, B- tier. Maybe I round up. across the game as a whole, is this guy an auto-include in Fyreslayers? Or are you, like, never taking him? Any Fyreslayer players in the chat? I think Brandomate is. Decent beatstick, shooting attacks, just add damage all the time. Very good buff once per battle. Solid B, you think? I wouldn't need too much convincing. I was right on the fence. Is this guy used? Is he played? Is he like the Frostlord on Stonehorn of Fyreslayers? Where you just, like, kind of always play with one? I think, like, to me, the definition of A is the auto-include. A for auto-include, you know what I mean? S, you have to think about, like, the entire game. Or I don't think Frostlord on Stonehorn is even S, for instance. Because now you're zooming out and comparing it against, like, every monster in the whole game, you know, that's used and stuff, but... B is auto-include in that type of list. C is sometimes include in that type of list. Who's S? Marathi? Yeah, I think Marathi counts as S. S tier is like what everyone hates. Like, just imagine the monster that everyone hates. It's like S tier. I could give her a B. All of KOS. Tech list before the nerf? Yeah, or tech list before one of the, like, 5 nerfs and points increases. There's lots of Zero Magmadroth lists. He's the linchpin of the All Magmadroth list, which remains somewhat competitive, but you get Volkite Berserkers going ham with his buff. Okay. If he's a linchpin of the All Magmadroth list, which still exists, then I'll kick it up to a B from a halfway point. If he's played. Next up. Apparently, Rune Smiter goes above the Rune Sun. Interesting. Alright. Rune Smiter for 330, 16 wounds, 4 up. This is a priest, right? Yep, it is a priest. Priest detected, that's always good. It just can't fight. It does more damage than a Thunder Tusk in melee combat, but it's still... Yeah, okay, so Rune Smiter on Magmadroth. Damage is bad. Has Roaring Fire Stream, Lashing Tail. Also Volcanic Blood. Runic Empowerment. Prayer that has an answer value of 3, range of 12. If the Chanter is carrying a Runic Iron, or 18 inches if the Chanter is carrying a Forge Key. If the Chanter is carrying a Runic Iron, you can reroll the Chanting roll. If answered, pick one friendly Fyreslayers unit wholly within range, add 1 to wound rolls. Okay. Answer value 3 up, plus 1 to wounds, target unit. Okay. And it's technically a priest. I don't think this guy does anything. He can't fight. I guess is 330 points worth a single prayer buff of plus 1 to wound. I mean, it's a likely one, right? Because you get to re-roll it. Do people play this one? I'm not necessarily impressed. Like, you would way sooner probably just take the 90-point priests and the 100-point priests that you have over this one for 300. I guess it's a more durable priest. You're paying for Volcanic Blood, 12-inch move. and re-rolling. Actually, the foot one can re-roll too with the thing. I don't know. I'm not terrifically impressed with the Runesmiter version. This guy strikes me as a... This guy strikes me as like a Huskguard on Thundertusk. Where it doesn't really do anything good. But you kind of want the prayer. You're just paying 300 points for the prayer. And everything else it does kind of sucks. I think you just take the foot one. Probably, I don't know, D+ or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Orc Rune Sun on Mago Madrath. Oh, they have different weapons. Worm, Slayer, Javelin, 1 attack, 4s and 3s. Get out of my face. Still has the awful throwing axe. Has a bunch of different weapons that are all worse than the Orc Runefather's weapon. Are the prayers any good? Yes. Fyreslayer prayers are very good. They're kind of what you're playing around almost. So that does bump it up compared to like Thundertusk, where Beastclaw prayers kind of suck. And so you're not like heavily incentivized to go into them. I guess I could look up the prayers briefly. I don't know, this guy seems like kind of just a worse Runefather. What's vying for glory? If the unmodified hit roll for an attack made by this unit that targets a monster is 6, attack causes a number of mortal wounds equal to the damage characteristic and the attack sequence ends. This ability has no effect on attacks made by this unit's mount. Okay, so so on average 0 mortal wounds? Maybe 2? Oh, alright. Only against monsters. 320. Oh, it's battle line in a loaf near army. Okay, alright. I was about to say that Orc Rune Suns were trash. But, they're not trash. Because they can be battle line. And just like Stonehorn Beast Riders, they're not good. But they can be battle line, which means you play them. I think maybe C. Simply because of battle line possibility. Hey, cool stream, kid. Carcasey, finally you feel represented? How so? In what way? We could look at the prayers. We could do it. Damn, they put Path to Ignore right in the middle of the shit you're trying to look at on Wahapedia as well? Interesting. Prayers. Perv Ash. Answer value 4. Oof. -1 from wound rolls for attacks to target that unit. Good. That's good. Answer value of 4 is an oof, but -1 wound rolls. That's good. Ember Storm. Pick one friendly Hearthguard Berserker Volkite or Vulcan Flameseeker. Unit can run and still charge. It's probably good. You're slow as an army. Doesn't Pizza Oven give chanting buff? It gives some sort of buff. I don't know if it's reroll or not. I know your Rune Smiters give a reroll with their Forge Iron or whichever one you pick. Oh, it's +1? Okay, so you're getting +1 and possibly a reroll, which makes it very much more likely than it first appears. Prayer of Grimnir's Fury. Pick one friendly Fyreslayer's hero that does not have a mount and is within range, within 3 of an enemy unit, and visible. The hero can fight. Okay. Gotta paint the Fyreslayers as Papa John's employees. Yeah, there you go. For the pizza oven. Wrath of Volcatrix. This is the one that Andrew Yells was using, by the way. He had like 14 heroes, and so one of them would always be fighting during the hero phase, because you had to split attacks, and you would always like overkill and waste extra damage. Anyway, pick one Magmadroth. Until the start of your next hero phase, use the top row in the damage table, regardless how many wounds it has. That's okay. Okay. I could see using all of these. Prayer of Ash seems the best. I like Run and Charge though, especially on a slow army. Where were we? Oh yeah, Orc Rune Sun. I thought they were D, but you can make them battle line, so I moved them up to a C, even though they are not great. Because it's kind of like what you do with battle line. I didn't like this too much. The only thing I saw for it was, hey, it's got move 12, so you can get it into position easier. I don't know if it was worth all 330 to do that or not, but I could potentially see playing it. Auric Flamekeeper. Oh, now we're on to leaders, huh? We're already there. Auric Flamekeeper. Costs 90 points and is a totem, but not a priest. He has some attacks. Master Flame Rune. When this unit is set up, place a d6 beside it with a 1 facing up each time a friendly Fyreslayer model is slain within 12 of it, as a result of attacks or abilities. Increase the value of the die beside by 1. Each time a model to a max of 6. Once per turn at the start of the combat phase. The face value beside it is 6. You can say that this unit will draw upon the power of the runes. Start of the combat phase. Apply one of the following effects to that unit. Then change the value back down to 1. What following effects? It doesn't list the effects. I have to look elsewhere. What does this guy do? What are the following effects? It's either +1 damage or 6 up ward. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just found this. 6 up ward. Fight on death, but not if you've already fought. Can immediately attempt a charge. So it can apparently attempt a charge at the start of combat. And add 1 to the damage characteristic. Okay. I think I like this guy. So what you can do is you Charge at the start of combat, so no Unleash Hell. It gets around Unleash Hell. Because they can't fire back in the combat phase. So that's good. +1 damage is good. Just one of the best buffs you can get. 6-up ward kind of sucks. But it's technically something if you're desperate, I guess. And Fight on Death. I could see Fight on Death if it's not your turn, which is an option. If it's on opponent's turn. Yeah, I think like all those abilities are kind of alright. This guy's alright. I understand now why they didn't make him a priest, because he's probably worth taking even if he wasn't, and so you don't want to load up too much, right? Alright, Orc Flamekeeper. Isn't this guy one of the guys who looks cool too? He has an improved look and feel. It's almost like he's wearing pants, kind of, even though he's not. Mr. Beard Mask. I think he's clearly A. He has a bunch of cool uses. As long as you're playing foot troops, basically. It is a little awkward that he needs your guys to die to be able to use his abilities, but your guys will die. It's Age of Sigmar. Your guys just die. Like, that's the game. The game is your guys die, right? So... Alright, I like this guy. Yeah, I'm thinking A. A lot of tactical stuff you can do with him. Not just ignoring Unleash Hell, although that is something. You can pin your opponent. Like, your opponent was going to charge you onto an objective and then kill you and steal it. You can charge them. They're off of the objective, can't get onto it, even if they kill you. You can rob them of points. I don't know. The fact that you can do this on the opponent's turn puts this guy in A. If you could only use this guy on your turn, he would, like, drop an entire letter grade. Possibly more. But the fact that you can use him on both turns is huge. Yeah, I like this guy. Alright, great work, Orc Flamekeeper. And looks better than all the other ones, because he's wearing more clothes. The more clothes a Fyreslayer is wearing, the better they look. Auric Runefather. Rune Pater. On foot. Alright. You got a Frost Spear. And the stupid throwing axe with one attack, 4s and 4s. Why? Slow as fuck. Not even particularly durable on a 4-up, unless he gets a ward. I mean, this unit gets a lot of wards and bodyguards. I know that. So, let's pretend just everybody does. Yeah, he even gets a retinue in his War Scroll. Before you allocate a wound or mortal wound to this unit, or instead of making a ward roll, you can on a 3-up, okay. After you fought in the combat phase for the first time, if its retinue is not yet fought, they get to fight. This is the HGB Escort Castle. Once per battle, start of combat. Oh, you get... okay. You get the same buff that the Auric Runefather gets. His retinue is special. When they bodyguard, they still get their ward. Ooh. Okay. If the retinue has a ward, you can make a ward roll before allocating that wound or mortal wound to it. Jesus. Hearthguard Berserkers, Steal the Kings. There's also that one ability, right? That I was so enamored with. Isn't there a you fight first? Yeah, fierce counterattack. Once per game, right? Start of the enemy combat phase. The unit receives this must be a Hearthguard, Berserkers, or Flame Seekers. Strike first effect applies if you get charged. You can't receive this more than once per battle, but once is enough. Once per unit per game. That's really good. So you can't issue this to him. Okay, so if I was thinking like, oh, maybe you issue it to him and then he can pull in his friends still in the strike first, but it doesn't. It's only the troops. That's still not that bad. That's not so bad. Yeah, he's got a good buff. He's got a hilarious retinue. It's a shame. Can you make him into a wizard or a priest somehow? Can we do that? Is there a you become a priest trait? Priests only. Okay, you can give him the magic hat, and that's fine. I wanted him to have one more thing, you know? Rune Sun can become a priest? Would you take on him as your enhanced runes go off on 5s and 6s? Yeah. Spirit of Grimnir. It does double the chance. That's true math. You like Master Priest too? Hold up. Once your battle starts, hero phase of this general is on the battlefield, you can activate your Urgold that has already been activated. Ooh. Alright, be honest with me. Is this just doing the Rend one twice? That's not a bad thing. Where's the foot? Where's the footman? There it is. Parenthetical, yes. Look, Rend is good. He has slightly better than Stormcast hero attacks, but not enough to be, like, crazy. His retinue is really good. Lord of the Lodge is great, even though it's once per battle, but still it's good. Dauntless Assault is okay. I'm thinking B. I think above this one. It's 120 points. Do you think B is right for this guy? Those could be damage 6 attacks with an artifact. Is there a double damage artifact? He's good, but because Hearthguard are good? Yeah. I don't know. He's good. I think B is good. I think that's fine. A to me is like auto-include, thinking about playing more than one, backbone of the army kind of stuff. Again, as a disclaimer, I don't play the army, so I might be missing some nuance. Auric Rune Master. That's next, right? Yeah, Rune Master. Now, Rune Smiter is the Deep Strike guy. Rune Master is the big armor priest guy. Wait, no. Battlesmith is big armor. Rune Master is the priest guy. He's 130. He can't fight. If he is part of a Fyreslayer army, it knows all the prayers of the Zentagrim. In addition to other prayers, it just knows every prayer. Hey, I like the sound of that. Serve your hero phase of your generals within 3 of it. You receive 1 command point. Word. This guy's already good. But I'll keep reading. Volcano's Call is a prayer that has an answer value of 3 and a range of 18. Volcano Coil. As the chanter is carrying a runic icon, you can re-roll the chanting roll. Great. Pick 1 terrain feature wholly within range and visible. Roll die for each model within 1 of it. Each 6 suffers mortal wound. In addition, until your next hero phase, the terrain feature blocks visibility in the same manner as a wildy would. Interesting. Okay, I was about to make fun of this thing. I was about to be like, this is trash. And then I was about to also be like, but it's fine because he knows all the other prayers plus curse. However, it blocks line of sight. It's actually kind of good. You do some battlefield control stuff with that, depending. And if you can't do some battlefield control stuff with that, because the table or how people positioned just didn't work out this game, it's not like he's a silver bullet. He's a priest who rerolls prayers, gives you 1 command point every fucking turn, and he knows everything, plus curse. Like, he's good anyway. I'm fine with situational silver bullets when their silver bullet is like a post-it note stuck onto something that was good already. I think I like him. Wait, is he always... Hold up. As the chanter is carrying a runic item, you can reroll the chanting roll. But can I do that always, or just for Volcano's Call? Seems to be written such that only with Volcano's Call, unless this is transcribed incorrectly. Check out the priest artifacts. I will. Ashcloud Rune. Does this help you pray for Ashcloud? Not visible when casting a spell. Super silver bullet. Once per game. Ultra silver bullet. Volatile Brazier. When the bearer attempts to summon an invocation, you can reroll the chanting rolls for it, and the range is doubled. Ooh. Actually, I like that one. I like that one a lot. I wanted somebody to summon those things, because nobody plays... I don't know, priests are kind of rare, so... And then the Droth Helm. Add 1 to wound rolls, attacks made with claws and horns. Oh. Okay, so yeah, the Brazier. Auric Rune Master. I know what these look like, by the way, chat. Don't embarrass me. This is the Rune Master. This is the Battlesmith. And this is the Rune Smiter. Still got it. Barely. And this is Grim Wrath. This is Doomseeker. I don't know who the fuck this is, actually, so you got me there. Volkite Berserkers. Hearthguard Berserkers. And Auric Hearthguard. Gotrek. Special promotional guy whose name I don't know. The original Underworld's Warband right here. Some guy and the Chosen Axes, I'm pretty sure. Don't know who the dual wielder is, and this is some Warcry Warband, I think. I'm not sure what that is, but hey, I did pretty good. Only one you can name, yeah, Gotrek over here, and then the pizza oven, of course. Anyway, this guy's B. Is he better than? Yeah, probably. Yeah, IB. Maybe even low A, because I bet... are you always playing one of these? He seems like the guy that you play, so you can play your Molten Infernoth and shit. And are these like a big enough part of your game plan that you're always trying to play with them? I guess I don't know. He's either top of B, maybe bottom of A, not sure. I like how even if Volcano's Call is terrible, he's still great, because he gives you an extra command point, and he knows all the prayers plus curse. That's just good. Auric Rune Smiter. This guy used to be the shit. This guy used to be terrifically powerful. People would play Auric Rune Smiter and a whole bunch of Volkite Berserkers and just put it in any Order army. And it meant that they would all just about automatically win any of the 2 objective battle plans. In the before time, in the ancient times of 1st edition. It seems like people are not deep striking too much with Fyreslayers anymore. I don't think that's wrong, I'm just noticing that people aren't. It's 130, it gives you a deep strike. Surely it can't fight. It's got that tunneling. Ahem. Runic Empowerment is a prayer that has an answer value of 3, range of 12, or 18. Or you can re-roll it. I assume you're always re-rolling it, probably. Add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made by that unit. Oh. Who else gave you +1 to wound rolls? Oh, it was actually a, it was a prayer, right? No. Where was the other +1 to wound rolls? Was it really just the helm? The guy on Magmadroth? Oh, the Auric Rune Sun was the +1. Same prayer, okay. This is he. I mean, it's a 130 point deep strike guy. Who has a buff. And he can re-roll his buff, and he's a priest. This guy is like Icebrow Hunter. If Icebrow Hunter could bring any Beastclaw unit instead of only the worst Beastclaw unit, which is Wolves, and also was a priest, and also had a buff on his War Scroll. Aside from that, this guy is basically an Icebrow Hunter. Except he can deep strike anything and is a priest and he has a good prayer. And more durable. This guy feels like a B. But people don't play him, I guess. It's just like neat to have. And he does stuff. Anybody play with this guy? I don't know, feels like a B. If Icebrow Hunter is trash, this guy feels like a B. Auric Rune Sun on foot. Oh, maybe that's that dual wielder guy. Maybe that's the dual wielder. He is 80 points. He has to choose these, right? Yeah, he does. You do, but it's just for the deep strike? Yeah, it probably is just for the deep strike. But it's nice that he is a priest. He can pray, and his War Scroll prayer isn't half bad. Like those are not nothing. But you know, you're taking him for the deep strike first and foremost. If you weren't, you would take the better priest, right? Because you have a better priest already, like in the faction. Anyway, Runeson. He sucks at fighting. But he has that retinue. After this unit has fought, it can bring the others in, and then vying for glory. If the unmodified hit roll for an attack made by this unit targets a monster, it's mortal wound. Okay. Orc Rune. I think we found, in my opinion, the first trash. Well, he's 80 points. How much is the Rune Father, who's basically the same thing except he has a great once per game command? 120. Costs 50% more. He's trash. His ability is bad. He can't fight. He has a cool retinue, but I don't know why you would want to protect him because he doesn't do anything in the first place. This guy has once per game big synergy fucking HeyWoah ability. That's good. And his attacks for a foot hero that costs 120 points are kind of good. This guy, unless I'm missing something, just doesn't do anything. He's like the classic combat foot hero guy. Doesn't do anything. Battlesmith. Can the foot ones be battle line or only the Magmadroths? Let's look. I'm pretty sure it's only the Magmadroths. Yeah, just the Magmadroth ones. Alright, Battlesmith. 160. Big points. Has Stormcast hero attacks. Friendly Fyreslayers wholly within 12 have a ward of 6 up. That's okay. Totem detected. In addition, once per battle in your hero phase, pick one friendly unit on the battlefield with this ability to plant its icon of Grimnir. If you do, until the start of your next hero phase, friendly Fyreslayers wholly within have a ward of 5 up instead of 6. It's your hero phase. Until the start of your next... Okay. If this unit issues the rally command to a friendly Fyreslayer unit, you can turn one slain model that receives it on a 4 up instead of a 6. Alright. 4 up rally on troops this durable. Okay. So 5 up ward once a game. Double turn protection built in. Potentially ruining a battle tactic. Used to not be able to move, if I recall correctly. Now can just move. It's fine. 4 up rally. That's a paddling. And he can almost kind of fight like a Stormcast hero, I guess. Even though that doesn't matter. Battlesmith, good. Here he is. Where does he go, though? Should we start organizing these? I think the priest one is maybe the best. This guy is the second best. This guy is actually the best. Dude, 4 up rally, though. I don't know which one's better. I mean, you can both really good. And then these two are clearly behind these two, I think. Is it possible these guys, one of these, both of these, or something are in A? Should we differentiate a little more? How do you feel about the Battlesmith and the Giga Priest? You wish Rally would just go away for everyone? Same. It was a mistake. The concept of Rally in the core rules was entirely a mistake. So was Unleash Hell. That was a mistake. So were battle tactics for each faction. That was also a mistake. Maybe the top 4 mistakes of 3rd edition were Universal Rally, Unleash Hell, battle tactics for each faction. And what's the 4th huge mistake, in my opinion, for 3rd edition? None are really popping out at me. Those 3 are pretty strong, though. Yeah, I don't like Rally at all. Battlesmith is your general for 18-inch 4-up Rally. Are we doing it? Is he above the Priest? The existence of Grand Strats. I feel the existence of Grand Strats are relatively tame. I don't like them. I think they're mostly win more. But at the end of the day, they really are just 3 points at the end of the game. It's not too terrifically damaging. It doesn't waste a whole bunch of time. I don't think they're good, but they're sort of like... Grand Strats are bad for all the reasons that battle tactics are bad, except toned way down. Like 1/100th of as bad, you know? I don't particularly like them. I don't think they should be faction specific either. Most of them feel really win more. Some of them are automatic easy. You almost couldn't not do them if you tried, and then others are mostly impossible. You know, it's all the same problems, you know. A pre-4th Ed Wheels and Woes of 3rd Ed would be fun. Yeah, I think so. I might do a stream about that. Or maybe a video, or maybe both. Fyreslayers get an auto strat with their endless prayers. Yes, they do. Ogres do not. Ogre grand strats are hard. At least for me. Anyway, Fuel Grimnir. 160 points, and he comes with the Chosen Axes. He fights with a Latchkey Grand Axe. He has the Retinue. After this unit has fought in the combat phase, he pulls people in. Oh, and he just comes with guys. Is that it? And then the Chosen Axes. Who are... They're just Volkite Berserkers. Fight before you die. Plus 1 attack if you charged. Is this like a discount? Do you always... This feels like you get 1/3 of a squad of Volkite Berserkers plus the normal hero dude you would have taken anyway, except he doesn't have the one reason you would take it. Like, I rated this guy B because he has a once per game good command ability. And Fajul doesn't have the best part of this guy. And he comes with like 3 men. So I don't, he doesn't do anything. Yeah, he can't even take artifacts and enhancements. He's like... He's actually worse than the Rune Sun. Alright. His model's great, though. His model is great. He's casually holding the latch key grand axe across his mighty shoulders, casually, like a badass. He looks sweet. Bilateral squat maxing, yeah. His rules aren't there, but it's Age of Sigmar. You just play the cool looking one, and then use the rules you like. Easy. Grimhold Exile. 140 points. He has attacks. Ooh, Ren 2. Kind of nice. Once per battle, when you pick this unit to fight instead of piling and attacking, you can say that it will unleash the beast. If you do, pick one enemy unit within one of this unit and roll a number of dice equal to the wounds characteristic of the enemy unit for each 4. Enemy unit suffers a mortal wound. Okay, so this is your sideboard card against Mega Gargants. This dude. Mega Gargants lifting up their skirts and like fleeing from this guy because they don't want to take 15 mortal wounds. Interesting. On hour to Grimnir. Once per battle in your hero phase, this unit can raise this battle cry. Friendly Fyreslayers that do not have a mount and are wholly within 6.
Stop it. Get some help.
Please stop writing shit like this. I hate you. Are inspired. They can run and still charge. Okay. Yeah, run and charge is good. I hate this wholly within 6. That's fucking bullshit, but you just have to suffer through it because run and charge is good. Well, this unit is within 3 of another friendly unit that has 3 or more models. This unit has a 4-up ward. Oh, shit. Okay. Alright, you're gonna have to help me out here. Is this copium? Like, hey, run and charge is good once per game. He's got a 4-up ward. He's got 5 attacks at Ren 2. Is that enough to, like, make it okay to take this sideboard card and just every once in a while you play against Mega Gargants or Beast Claw or something and just, like, actually fuck them up? 140 is a lot. I think this guy is, like, okay. Does he look cool? Are we adding to the copium here? He's dual wielding, right? Armed with fire rune hammers. That's this guy. That's this dude. I think I'm B'ing him. I'm giving him the B. Like, yeah, it's only once per game, but there is a rune for that, I think. And yeah, the wholly within 6 is fucking annoying, but still. He's kind of a slapper as far as melee foot heroes are concerned. Probably has a 4-up ward, that's hilarious. You can give him an artifact. This shit is a good sideboard card, just sort of chilling in your main deck. I'm gonna give him a B. I don't know. So Fyreslayers struggle with movement a lot, so run and charge, you ought to run 6, and you can actually have like a moving hammer. He's really good. Rune is bonus to move characteristic. Oh, is it? Okay, I thought the rune was run and charge. That makes this better, actually. Man, a lot of B's. I wonder if I'm over-being it. Volkite Berserkers with Bladed Sling Shield, or Volkite Berserkers with Fire Steel Hand Axes. Okay, so what's the diff? 2 wounds, 4-up saves, 150 points for 10 boys, for 20 wounds, 150 points for 20 wounds on 4-ups. You got... You take the rend ones, just probably, right? War picks. Once per battle at the start of the combat phase, you can say this unit will unleash the beast. If you do, you can pile in an attack before you die. Ooh, and that even works if you've already attacked. Nice. Bladed Sling Shield. After this unit makes a charge, you can pick one enemy within 1 and roll 1 dice for each model in this unit. For each 6, it takes a mortal wound. So you can do 2 mortal wounds on the charge, maybe. Sometimes I don't know, 4 of them. 1% of situations. Cool. Only 1 attack per model, though. It's a rough one. +1 the charge rolls. What do you do with fire steel hand axes, though? You're 160. Okay, so these are 150. These are 160. And you have 2 attacks, but no rend. Oh, and you have a 5-up save instead of a 4-up. I see. So you're actually quite different. You both pile in an attack if you die, though, once a game. And then add 1 attack characteristic if you made a charge move. So either maybe 0 to 2 mortal wounds on the charge, or +10 attacks on the charge. Have rend, but -1 the wound. Don't have rend, but +2. So 10 of these guys are throwing 30 attacks out. It's becoming clear to me that you want Curse in this army, don't ya? Curse is looking better and better in this army. What can you get this to? +1 damage with boy. Seems pretty good there. +1 to wound. Seems pretty good there. If we just like Giga Layer everything, 10 of them are on 31 attacks. 2s and 2s. No rend, damage 2. Possibly rocking Immortal on 6s. Okay. It's a shitload of attacks. -1, yeah, pop the rend rune. Being on 5s, though, kind of a rough one. I don't know. Do people use Volkite Berserkers? I never see them on the table. Do people think they're bad? It's hard for me to decide on this one. I'm not sure. I kind of need to see them play out. Like, yeah, it's a bunch of attacks, but they're slow as fuck. Yeah, I don't know. They can fight before they die, that's cool. And they can fight before they die even if they've fought already, that's also cool. 20 wounds for 160. You can spam them to good effect. It fuels the fireman. Yeah, it does fuel the fireman. I don't know. I'm thinking low C, but really I don't have much experience with them. I don't really want to pay 160 for dudes that have so many random weaknesses. Lots of lists spam Volkites with firemen. Okay. Maybe it's good. Auric Hearthguard. These are the pole guys, the shoots. 120 for 5. Not battle line unless you're in Hermodar, or if the general is a Fyreslayer priest. Your general's probably a Fyreslayer priest, right? That's not too hard to do. One model in this unit can be named Carl. Add 1 to the attack's characteristic. Okay. 18-inch 2 attack, 4s and 3s, 1-1. That's a terrible shooting profile. If the unmodified hit roll for a shooting attack is 6, subtract 1 from the target unit's move characteristic till the end of your opponent's next turn. The ability cannot reduce the target's move below half. These are Just like, you know, chaff that can technically roll some dice. Maybe you get lucky. Slow somebody down. Or a Hearthguard. Cheapest battle line, can reach out and touch someone. I'm putting them top of C. Doomseeker. 3 attack, 3s and 3s, 1/1. 3s and attacks, 3 and 3, 0/1. Wrong picture? What do you mean? Oh, I picked up Hearthguard Berserkers for some reason. I meant to pick up the Magma Pike guys. The shoots, not the swings. Doomseeker. At the start of the first battle round, pick one enemy unit for this unit to swear to destroy. If you're within 3 of that unit and has fought no more than once, you can fight twice. And if you die, you can fight again. As long as you haven't fought twice. Okay. Add 1 to damage if this unit melee weapon... If it has 1 wound allocated. Add 2 damage characteristic to this unit's melee weapons instead if this unit has 2 or more allocated to it. Or, if the Oathbound ability has allowed this unit to fight before being removed from play. Okay. You have 5 wounds total. So, when you die, if you die against your Oathbound, those final 6 attacks are all at 3 damage, which is kind of cool. You can give this guy an artifact for... This is like the fun choice, right? Like, you can give him one of those stupid artifacts that, like, double its damage or something, and just, you know... double the attacks characteristic of it until the end of the phase. There you go. You drink the ale. Drink the ale, double the attacks characteristic of your 3 damage weapons, blah, blah, blah. This is like the funny Timmy thing to do, I guess. Looks terrible. Probably the worst looking model in the army, I think. Even worse than the Bilateralis Symmetricus guy. I don't think this guy is very good. Am I super wrong? Do people take a bunch of Doomseekers? Just seems like whatever. He looks better than the troops. He's from Silver Tower. Oh, is he from Silver Tower? I remember that. He's better than the Rune Sun? He is. What about Grimhold Exile with Drought of Magmalt Ale? Yeah, like I said, you can put some silly things on him, like artifacts and stuff. Then all your opponent has to do is make sure the Doomseeker with speed 4 or whatever isn't fighting his chosen target. And then you've kind of like wasted your time. And artifacts and traits and stuff. I don't know. It doesn't seem that great. Grimwrath Oath is Allegiance. Oh, I thought he was talking about the Oathbound thing. Is there something else I should be looking at? Before battle, each Grimwrath Berserker swears a sacred oath. Is a Doomseeker a Grimwrath Berserker? No. What were you, Oh, you mean... Okay, for the next thing. Grimwrath Berserker specifically. Alright, why is this in the... Why is this in the Allegiance ability section? This is like putting tyrant big names in the allegiance abilities to pad it out, to make it look like you have stuff there. This appears on one war scroll. Just put it on the war scroll. So you can't ally them and have them still be fun? Why would you ever want to ally one of these? I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself too. Maybe they're good. 4-inch move. Nope. Don't want to ally them. I already don't. Hey, they got Ren 2, that's good. 110 points, pretty cheap. At the end of combat, 2 up, fight twice. If it's destroyed and has fought no more than once, fight before it dies. And then also, you take an oath. So the first battle round, you can pick one of the following oaths. The rule for that oath applies until the end of the battle. If your army includes more than one, you cannot pick the same oath more than once. Boo. Boo, I say. I will cut down the priests. Okay, get a bonus against priests. +1 to hit and wound and damage. It's a big bonus. I will guard them with my life. Pick a friendly Hearthguard unit to be the retinue. You can pick this unit to be that unit's retinue. Okay, so you can be the retinue of a Rune Son or a Rune Father. Got it. I will let nothing stand in my way. The unit can run and still charge. In addition, you can reroll run rolls and charge rolls. Okay, so just rolly everything. I'll prove Grimnir's might to our allies. Add 1 hit rolls and wound rolls for attacks made by this unit if it is within 12 of any friendly allied units. Gross. Lonely Sandbar, thanks for the tier 1 for 35. Perfect streak. Damn. Almost your old man age. Merry Friday, my dudes. Lonely Sandbar, thanks for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Twos and twos ain't bad. True. I'm kind of allergic to the idea of allies, but okay. Okay, I will not be stopped. Ward of 6 up. If it's within 3 of any enemy units, it has a ward of 5 up instead. Neat. I will strike hard and true in Grimnir's name. If the unmodified hit roll for an attack made by this unit is 6, it will 1 mortal wound. In addition, how many attacks do you have again? 4, maybe 8 if you're fighting twice. So 1 mortal wound each combat? Nah. I guess run and charge, right? Like, I guess run and charge and reroll runs and charges. So you can just really always get him where he needs to go. And then he's got 4 attacks, 3s and 3s, -2/2. He kind of wants a combat artifact, but I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, he's kind of got 8 attacks, if you can roll the 2 up, which you usually will be able to. Or if he dies. I don't think it's worth devoting resources to him, but he's better than Doomseeker. Am I putting him in C because of pure fun factor? Maybe. However fun that could be. I don't know. I feel like I'm being kind here. But I mean, look, it's red too, right? Alright. Hearthguard Berserkers. A unit of 5 for 160. 2 wounds each. has a ward of 4 up. If it is wholly within 9 inches of any friendly Fyreslayer heroes. Translator's note, it will be. It will be. Smoldering Braziers. 2 mortal wounds per 6. With the Flame Strike pole axes. Throughout all of history, people have waffled back and forth between the broad axes and the pole axes. Depending on what edition or what book, some of them, sometimes it's the broad axes, sometimes it's the pole axes. Neither of them are nearly as good as they used to be. Ahem. Also, they technically have a 5-up save. So Metal Cruncher, once again, is completely useless against one of the most durable units in the whole game. Metal Cruncher does nothing, as always. Good work. R.I.P. Hermdar. Yeah. What are we putting these guys as? You think they're still S, Frank on the Rocks? I don't know. They used to be S tier. So in my head, I have a vision of how Hearthguard Berserkers used to be in the Golden Age. Where they had a... What was it? I believe a 4-up save that they could reroll, and then a 4-up ward, and then a 6-up ward on top of that 4-up ward, and they did roughly triple the damage they do now. So I'm, in my head, that's where I remember them. They're not that good anymore. I think they're A. I don't think they're S. At one point, they were very S. Like, one of the best units in the whole game, S. But they've quote-unquote balanced them. They're still mighty. Yeah, and they used to fight an extra time in the hero phase. Yeah, they used to do that. They used to pile in twice as well. There's all sorts of shit they used to be able to do. Jesus. Anyway, oof, that's a ward. It also presents your opponent with like an impossible maze to get themselves out of, right? Like, okay. These guys are on a 4-up, 5-up, basically a 4-up, 4-up. So you can't fight them. You won't do any damage, right? But they only get that as long as there's a hero nearby. So all you have to do is kill the hero, and then you can fight them, right? Just think a little bit. Can you shoot the hero? No. No. Lookout Sir is different now, so you can't shoot him. But if you get within melee range of him, which you physically can't because he's inside of the unit, that guy has a retinue, and it's the Hearthguard. And so they pass off the wound, they get their ward first, so basically, yeah, you're just not. The counterplay is leverage their slowness to outmaneuver them. Oh, here we got the Chosen Axes. We looked at them already. Right? Did we look at the Chosen Axes already? Yeah, we did. Gotrek Gurnison. For a reason that eludes me to this day. Not technically a Fyreslayer model. Why? Holy shit, why? It makes no sense to me. My man should just be a model in their army. What's the problem? Because he's a dwarf and not a Fyreslayer lore-wise? So make him a Fyreslayer lore-wise. What's the problem? That's the angle I'm coming in from. My man acts like a Fyreslayer, looks like one, basically is one. Make him a Fyreslayer. Give him the crown or something. You are now king of the Fyreslayers. Here you go. Right in the book. Orange Mohawk, he's in. Anyway. What he does is he rolls 6 attacks, and then he re-rolls every one of those that wasn't a 6. And then he piles in a second time and rolls 6 attacks, and re-rolls every one that wasn't a 6. And anything he fights is dead, and when they swing back, he reduces the damage to 1 and then ignores it. And he just sort of burrows his way through all 2,000 points of your Beastclaw Raiders without taking any damage at all ever, and single-handedly soloing your whole 2,000 point army. But competitive players say he's not good or something, and so he's not played a lot, which to you is great, because you literally cannot defeat him no matter what you do, because he counters your entire army. And so you hope that your opponent is like good, because then they'll for some reason choose not to play him because of the meta or something. Good. Keep thinking that. No, I agree. Yeah, he's not good in the meta. I agree. Keep not playing him. I'm gonna put him in B. He's too expensive. He's too expensive, and he dies too easily when he is played against good armies. He's too easy. Like, he's capable of dying if you're playing against like a good army. And that's not okay, I guess. You don't sound bitter about it. I'm not really bitter about it. I played against him a lot, actually. Just so happened to. How do you really feel about him? He's awesome. He's really cool. The fact that he doesn't synergize with anything and his incredible slowness used to be a good balancing factor, and then they shrunk the table, and now I think he's a concern again. He destroys me, and there's almost nothing I can do to stop it. I don't have anything to feed him, because my army doesn't have chaff, because it's not supposed to. Like, they designed my army not to play chaff, and so I don't. But yeah, you're supposed to feed Gotrek chaff for the whole game. And if you have some like really strong, like, oh, here's some unit that's able to kill him, like, then you're just supposed to kill him, you know? But my army is designed from the ground up to lose to Gotrek in all ways. No chaff, that's bad. Multi-damage weapons, that's bad. He turns it all into 1. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't have a way to kill him, and I can't run away from him because then I'll lose points. With the bigger table, I could really run away from him. With the smaller one, not so much, especially with BTs. Shooting him seems to work best. Yeah, I don't have shooting. I used to have shooting, but not so much anymore. You could choose to play Noblars. True, I could. I could play Noblars. But if I'm playing Noblars, I might as well play Gutbusters instead of Beastclaw, right? That's the first domino that falls, that trickles all the way down to me just playing an entire Gutbuster army. Yeah, high volume shooting. You throw 100 dice at him of all just 1 damage attacks that all suck. Like, he'll eventually die from that. But he's awesome. He's probably really fun to play. He doesn't even cost like god amount of points. He costs 500. That 500's a lot, 480. But it's not like 700 god amount of points, you know. He's sweet. Yeah, he's really cool. People say he's too expensive and he's capable of dying, and that means he's not competitive. They're probably right. But he fucking wrecks me, and he's probably pretty fun. So I'm gonna put him in the B tier. Vulcan Flame Seekers. Just hit him with the bird a bunch. Yeah, I did that in at 3K points. At 3K, I was able to kill Gotrek. I had 5 vultures, and I hit him with 5 vultures for 3 battle rounds in a row. And after hitting him with 15 vultures and charging him with 2,400 points of my entire army for 2 entire combat phases, I managed to get lucky and kill him. And he only killed about 800 points in exchange. So I have killed him, but that was at 3,000 points. I've never killed him at 2,000 points. Wasoran thanks for the tier 1 for 40 months. 40 months, Jesus. Good evening to Texas. Thanks for the long tier. Seems like chip damage would work poorly if they bring heal prayer. I don't think he can heal. I think they changed that. He used to be able to I don't think he can heroic healing. Right? That's the thing. They changed something about him. He can't heal anymore. He still can? What did they change then? What was I thinking? He can heal? Damn. Well then what was I thinking of? They did something with an FAQ. What did they do? Maybe it was something else. Oh, that was it. Maybe it was you can't heal in combat, and he's always in combat with more than one thing at once. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what they did. Gotrek plus Emerald Lifeswarm. Every single wound that Gotrek heals is the equivalent of like 12 wounds. That's a concern. But anyway, Vulcan Flameseeker. Models in this unit must be, let's see, what do we got? 5 Scale Breakers. Kindle Droth, Droth Master, Droth Blood Thane, and Vulcan Runefather. It's 9 guys, 5 guys are the same, and then there's 4 other guys on different base sizes. Boy, do I hate all the Warcry warbands and Underworld warbands. I just don't like them. One in every 9 can be a Runefather. One in every 9 can be a Droth Master, a Kindle Droth. Well, this unit includes a Droth Master. Enemy monsters within 3 cannot carry out monsters rampages. At the end of the combat phase, pick an enemy within 1. And roll 2 dice for each 4 up. The enemy suffers 1 mortal wound. Okay. Each model is armed with a throwing axe and a fire steel weapon. So it's 3 attacks, 3s and 3s all 1. 2-inch range, 2. And the one guy has Ember Teeth. So for 140, you get 9 dudes on a 5-up with 3 attacks each. They're kind of like Volkite. They're kind of like the Volkite with the axes. But they don't have the pile in when they die thing. Also, they don't have the strike first once per game thing, if that matters. They stop monsters' rampages, which is whatever. And they have end of combat phase 1 mortal wound, which is whatever. They probably look more interesting than normal Volkite Berserkers. You've said them played a lot in Lofnir and New Army of Renown because they ride with Magadroths. Okay. I mean, their point cost and stats are similar enough to Volkite Berserkers that I'm sure mathematically one of those two are just better, you know? So we'll put them above Volkites because they're pretty similar. And supposedly they're played. They're closer to having pants than any other Fyreslayer unit. Can I get a look? The fuck are you called? Vulcan Flame Sea. Okay. Vulcan Flame Seekers. I think I'm actually a little mad that Fyreslayers get a brand new unit and it looks the same as everything else. These look way better than the normal ones. Look at that. They're almost wearing clothes. They got kilts, some shoulder stuff sometimes. A little doggo. They have a dog. I rather like these guys. What they do on their war scroll is so similar to what everybody else does. Yeah, the lizard built like a bulldog, for sure. This dude's kind of cool. He's got an incense burner on the top of his mohawk, a huge axe. This guy's kind of alright. These axes look a little small. Guy has a whip. Can we swirly? Can we give him the swirl? Oh, you can't swirl this one. Okay. World of Warcraft's 15th expansion where they ran out of ideas for stupid shoulder pads. Out of 10. I kind of like the whip though. Oh, I kind of like this guy. You know, from this angle, it's almost like you could pretend he has shoes. I wish the weapons were bigger, but alright. Fyreslayer ladies. Egg pads. They look a lot better than the standard battle line. Can we retire Volkite Berserkers and just make Flame Seekers now? Anyway. Looking good. What doesn't GW make all the warbands have the same model count as a normal unit? And then they could just be used analogously for more model variation? I don't know. I don't know. I really wish they did. I also wish the warband game was more like, damn, here's a box of Yetis, you know? And you can play it in the warband game if you want. Just for more cross-pollination. But then again, I play the main game, so I'm biased. Obi Watts, thanks for the tier 1 for 32 months. Appreciate it. Who's this guy? Did we get through everybody? Who's this man? Whose man's is this? Shield guy. Yeah, the Gorger unit is basically that, Brandon made. It's basically exactly that. Hopefully that's what the future looks like. Second scroll for Volkite. Okay. Alright. Got it. It threw me off because there was one guy. I thought it was a hero or something. Shield Volkites used to be the better choice. In the olden days, I think. Magmic Battleforge. The pizza oven. At the start of the hero phase, you can pick one friendly Fyreslayer priest within 6 to control its magic. If you do until the end of the phase, add 1 to chanting rolls. For friendly priests within 18, cannot use this terrain features Molten Blessing and its spending the Forge ability in the same phase. Spending the Forge once per battle. You can spend it. Friendly Fyreslayer units in the entire battlefield have a ward of 6 up. However, for the rest of the battle, Fyreslayer priests can no longer use the terrain features Molten Blessing. Okay. So you have to keep one priest within 6 of your terrain feature. That kind of sucks. But then you get a big 18 aura. And also this thing is board wide. And also that priest might be summoning invocations and stuff. So it's not the worst. It is a little annoying to chain one of your heroes to a terrain feature and they can never like leave it. That does suck a little bit. It's not quite as bad as the ogre one for a few reasons. But it is a minor, you know, you do have to pay something for this free thing. What do you guys think about this terrain feature? Do you think it's a B? I like +1 to chant. +1 to chant 18 is real good, and board wide 6 up once a game. When do you get to do it? At the start of your hero phase, okay. I mean, C+, A, B-, I guess. Yeah, maybe the bottom of B. The army isn't exactly flying up the board either way. True. It's less, you know, it's kind of like ogres where, you know, ogres really do want to run up, and they will be. And so being chained to their mob pod is a lot worse. But if you could choose, you would fly up. You're just not fast enough to do so. I don't know. It's free. True, it is free. Costs no points. Molten Inferno, 50 points. Answer value 4, range of 12. More than 1 from all models, terrain features, other invocations, and endless spells. After it's set up, it can move 2d6. In addition, at the start of each of their subsequent hero phases. Oh, at the start of their subsequent hero phases, so it doesn't move each. If this invocation is moved, the commanding player rolls 12 dice. For each unit within 3 of it, for each 6, suffers 1 mortal wound. So, on average, 2 mortal wounds, sometimes 0, sometimes 4. If the roll to see how far it moved is a double, it's D3 each. That's kind of neat. 50 is a lot, though, for this. Are you guys taking this thing? Molten Inferno? It does mortal wounds, that's good. It's hard to get rid of. Oh, it's removed from play if it does too well, though. I see. So it goes away if you roll good. I'm gonna read all of them. Runic Firewall. We got all 4 Fyreslayer players globally in chat tonight. Yeah. Things are heating up. It unlocks a free Grand Strat. One moment. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if there are any invocations under your command on the battlefield. Okay. So it does unlock a free grand strat. I mean, it has to be out at the end of the game. So there is that. But there's also, like, kind of no way to get rid of them. Alpha wall strats. So with the Infernoth is you take the Brazier to double its setup and then it moves 2d6. Yeah, it does have a 1/6 chance to remove itself, though. You can fling it. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. I might put it in C. You can't fling much in this army, right? I might put that thing in C. Runic Firewall. Answer value 3, range 18. If answered, set up the invocation wholly within range and visible. Models cannot move across or through this invocation unless they have the Magmadroth keyword or can fly. Okay. Awakened Runes. Start of each phase, the commanding player can pick one friendly Fyreslayer's unit wholly within 12. To draw a card? No, to draw upon its power. If they do so, the commanding player rolls a die. On a 1 to 5, that unit is a ward of 6 up. On a 6, it is a ward of 4 up until the end of the phase, and this invocation is removed from play. Okay. On a 6, that unit has a ward of 4 up. Okay. You don't have to do this if you want to just keep the thing out and get your free grand strategy, right? Yeah, there's a lot of competing ways to get 6-up wards in this army, that's for sure. This thing is 60 points. Yeesh. Does this block line of sight? No. If this blocked line of sight, I would feel a lot better about it. 60's a lot, too. And then Zaragron Flame Spit. Range of 6, value 3. If answered, set up the invocation wholly within range. Wait a minute. You can make this 36 with one guy. This isn't 18. This is... You can put this wall in a cannon and, like, shoot it across an ocean. Alright, this is an intercontinental ballistic firewall. 36. The alpha block. We're back to Ideneth Deepkin putting a shipwreck right in the front of their starting line. Okay. Hold up. Hold up. Y'all are... You're getting a promotion, okay? And this shit is 24. We are building a wall. And the Deepkin are gonna pay for it. Alright, what about the Flame Spitter? You're doubling it to 12. That's not looking good after the first two I read. At the start of the commanding player's shooting phase, if there are any friendly Fyreslayer priests within 6 of this invocation, the commanding player can pick one enemy within 24 of this invocation and roll 12 dice. What an annoying ability. What an annoying way to write something and have something work. But okay. One enemy within 24, 12 dice, add 1 to the roll if that unit has 10 or more models, add 2 if it's 20 or more. Oh, you can summon your very own Thunder Tusk. For each 6 up, it's 1 mortal wound. If the commanding player rolls 4 or more unmodified 6s, it goes away. Word. This shit sucks. Zaragon Flame Shitter, am I right? It technically is a ranged attack. It's the Thunder Tusk's. It's the only useful part of the Thunder Tusk's War Scroll. For 50 points, I still think it sucks. With longer range. It doesn't capture 10 though. I don't know. If I'm gonna play one, I'm gonna play one of these two, I think. It would be better if a priest didn't have to babysit it. Yeah, it would also be better if it didn't always suck, no matter what the unit size it was fighting was at. Like, 12 dice 6s sucks against one model. 12 dice 5 sucks against 10 models. And 12 dice 4s sucks against 20 models. It perfectly scales to always suck. And that's its problem. And the bigger the unit you're targeting, the more likely it is that it's chaff or has a bad save. And you don't want to be spending mortal wounds item budget on fucking, 30 Mortec Guard or something like that. Or 40 Boingy Boys that have a 6-up save and like a 4 Bravery or something. I don't know. But 36-inch build the wall, kind of nice. 24-inch 2d6, just like put mortal wounds somewhere. This is reach, What you don't have a lot of is reach in this army, and any way you can get it seems kind of nice, whether it be in blocking them or hurting them. And whichever one you pick, you can make it so that you probably get a free Grand Strat, a free 3 points in general. Because you can choose not to move it, and you can choose not to soup up its power and just have it sit there, and then auto 3 victory points, which is huge. Not bad. Alright, hey. I don't play this army. I haven't looked at its stuff in a long time. Some of these might be wrong, but this was initial impressions. Or, not initial impressions, but remembering what all this does. This thing here is in no particular order. There's too much. I could do a in particular order for ogres or something, but I don't think I can be that granular with an army I don't play. And some of this stuff I'm not sure exactly on, but this is how I'm feeling it. Anyway, hey, good tier list. Anyone got another one? Any more AOS tier lists? I feel like, I don't know. I could do some more content. But hey. It's medicine time. BRB, a short break, stand up, stretch your legs, Dip your paintbrush into the correct mug, not the coffee cup. Hey, listen, you got to make this tier list more symmetrical. Yeah, you're right. True. The ultimate shame is that it's not perfectly symmetrical. You're right. Was there a funny Fyreslayer tier? There was, but it was just the same picture for all the units, which is a good bit. Like, it's funny, but they decided to make a real one instead. So, you know, not bad. Anyway, BRB 5M break. And then, I don't know, man. How about some more content?